Hello, Gnome Team's parents and students. It's Mr. H with a weekly social studies update for you on this, the 28th day of August 2015. So hopefully you're having a wonderful day. We had an interesting one in school today, and I'll talk more about it in just a few minutes. So a little bit about what we have been doing and a little bit about what we will be doing next week. So we have finished our first unit on the geography portion, where we do a lot of basic map reading skills, understanding maps, talk about what we call tall dogs, all the things a good map has, and then we talk about the 5 themes of geography, which will carry us through the whole rest of the year, talking about places, talking about locations, talking about how humans in the environment interact. We've got a great example of that going on right now with our tropical storm, Erica, as she starts to come across the screen. Sorry, the screen feeling.
Russell Robertson to the carpool loop, please. Russell Robertson to the carpool loop.
Sorry about that. Still school day. And so we talk a little bit about the location of Tropical Storm Erica and some of the human environment interaction that storm is causing. So some interesting things out there. And the other themes of geography, movement, and region that we go through all through the rest of the year. We've now moved into our Ancient Americas unit, where we start to talk about how, first of all, the migration of humans went out of Africa, through Asia, around the world, and down the Bering Land Bridge into North America, and then finally into South America. So we've been working on that the last little while, and that's kind of where we are. So a couple of things that we have done in class that you maybe saw at home, maybe not. This was our Tall Dogs map. This is one that I did as an example. So maybe you saw students doing that. I'm almost finished grading those. I've got one more small group of those to grade, and then those will go in the grade book. And then today, we finished this map, and we've been working on this in class, and maybe you saw this at home, maybe you didn't. We worked on most of it at home and Spartan time. It's called Journey of Mankind, and it's basically a migration map. This was an example I did as well, of how the human race kind of spread around the world slowly over many thousands of years. So that map was due today. We had some students who didn't turn it in today, so there might be a few students who have to come in at Spartan time or work on some homework to get those maps finished. Now, today was an interesting day as we did our Ancient America Survival Day, which I think will be an interesting conversation for you to have with your students. We went outside. We talked about the 3 basic things that you need to survive, first being water, second being shelter, third being food, and students worked in small groups to survive. So they had to run down to a bucket that was simulating our river, and they had to bring the water back using tools. Some of the students were very lucky and got bigger measuring cups. Some of the students were unlucky and got measuring spoons. And so the water challenge was very challenging for some people that didn't get the right tool. Then we had to find shelter, and shelter was building a model using popsicle sticks and paper and things. And most students did a very good job doing that building. They forgot to read the directions, and we had talked about how reading is an important skill to save your life, and so some people faltered because they just didn't read the directions to do one simple thing. And then of course there was food, hunting food, which ended up being noodles in the grass, which made it green noodles in the grass very tricky to hunt. And so it'll be interesting to find out if your students group did survive, if their tribe did survive, or if maybe some of those things tripped them up. Sorry.
Coach Stair, Coach Quigley, if one of you could come down to Student Services, we have students who are inquiring about the status of football practice today. Thank you.
So students are going to work on this reflection a little bit in class. We kind of ran out of time to do it at the end of class today. I was hoping to, but we kind of ran out of time because the simulation takes most of the class period. But ask your students, did they survive or not, and why not? Was it fun? Was it not fun? It's an interesting conversation. Next week we are going to do some readings. First on how people got to North Carolina, so we're going to go into a little bit of the migration into North Carolina. We're going to do some reading strategies, practice with that. Then we're going to read a little bit about Kennewick Man, who was a guy that they found, a skeleton that they found over in Washington State, possibly one of the oldest North American skeletons. We're going to do some vocabulary practice with that. We're also going to talk about this Iceman guy whose name is Otzi, mainly because I found him on an Otzi glacier in Austria, and do some more vocabulary practice with him. So some reading practice in the next couple of days as we finish off our unit on the early Americas. We'll then get into the Maya, the Inca, and the Aztec of South America, and then move from there into Egypt and the Fertile Crescent, what we sometimes call Mesopotamia. So if you have any questions, or if you want to know anything else about what we've done, or any more about what we are doing, just let me know. Hit me with an email or something like that, and I will get back to you. Good day today, a lot of fun. Talk to your students about the survival day, and I will see you next week.